Time to take a coding break. Howdy, coding pros, and welcome back to another episode of the Coding Break podcast. I am your coding coach, your coding break reminder, as well as your medical coding instructor, here to remind you to take a coding break. So on today's coding break, I want to talk about combination codes. This seems to be an issue, and so I went to my good friend Google just to type in what they define as combination codes as it relates to ICD-10 codes. And per Google, it states that an ICD-10 combination code is a single code used to classify two diagnoses: a condition with an associated manifestation or a condition with a complication. Again, an ICD-10 combination code is a single code, which is one, single, used to classify two, which is more than one, is two, diagnoses, a condition with an associated manifestation or a condition with a complication. Some of the examples that Google uses is E11.22, which represents type 2 diabetes with kidney disease, as well as I13.0, which represents hypertensive heart and kidney disease. This is used, or combination codes are used to reduce code volume and improve accuracy. What are some of the key rules for using combination codes? First, you must check the index first. Look up the main condition in the alphabetic index to see if an indented subterm offers a combined option. So this is for those of you who actually use ICD-10 manuals, the actual ICD-10 books. Again, one part of the book is the index and the other part is the tabular list. And so it's almost similar to using a dictionary or Webster dictionary. You're going to look up the term, and then you're going to look up the term in the index, and then you're going to resort back to the tabular list to confirm your diagnosis selection. So again, the first thing is to do is to check the index first. So you're going to look up the main condition in the alphabetic index to see if an indented subterm offers a combined option. Secondly, you're going to verify in the tabular list, in this case in the back of the book, you're going to read all inclusion and exclusion notes to make sure the single code covers the full clinical picture. Thirdly, you do not unbundle the codes. Avoid assigning separate codes if a single combination code fully describes all documented elements. And I'm going to repeat that step. Do not unbundle. You want to avoid assigning separate codes if a single combination code fully describes all documented elements. And then lastly, you want to add secondary codes when it's necessary. If the combination code lacks the specific detail required for a severe manifestation or complication, report an extra code alongside it. And then it states, if you have a specific diagnosis in mind, please share the condition and its complications. So, well, I guess that was for me. So AI can help me to confirm the correct ICD-10 code combination to use. So again, the rules for that is to first check via the index. Secondly, you want to verify the tabular list. And then thirdly, you don't want to unbundle. And then fourth, you want to add secondary codes when necessary. So again, the great examples that AI displayed is type 2 diabetes with kidney disease. So if the thing is, you want to make sure that it is documented by the provider that one diagnosis caused the other manifestation or the other diagnosis. So before you assign type 2 diabetes with kidney disease as E11.22, you want to make sure that the documentation specifies that the type 2 diabetes is the cause of the kidney disease, such as with ICD-10 I13.0, which represents hypertensive heart and kidney disease. You want to make sure that the documentation specifically states that the hypertension is the reason for the kidney disease, because sometimes the patient could have hypertension or the patient could have type 2 diabetes as well as kidney disease, but those other diagnoses may not have caused the kidney disease. So again, you want to make sure and ensure that the documentation or the provider documented that these other manifestations, such as the kidney disease, was caused by either the type 2 diabetes or hypertension. So that is a little quick coding break rule as it relates to using single codes as to classify two diagnoses. So again, this also goes back to the provider ensuring and making sure that the documentation clearly states what they're treating, and also that one diagnosis or one manifestation was created or led by the primary diagnosis. I wonder if I worded it right. You want to make sure the manifestation diagnosis was linked to the primary diagnosis. So that's all that I have for this coding break. And as always, if you have any questions as it relates to coding breakdowns, this actually could have been a video so that you can see how to assign those codes. But nonetheless, if you have any other questions as it relates to medical coding, whether it be ICD-10 or CPT or even auditing, please do not hesitate to drop me a DM if you're on my social platforms or on my social platforms, or you can shoot me an email. So that's all I have for this coding break. And as always, remember to code on. Toodles.